And I'm just so you know, I am recording. Well, thank you all for joining us this afternoon for our Networking at Noon event. For those of you who I have not met, I'm Ray Pucci. I'm the president of the county chamber, and Lillian Brown, um, who manages all of our programs and so much more, is on the call as well. Um, the format for today's program is pretty simple. You'll have 3 minutes to tell everyone else who's on the call about your business, some things that may be new, just as a way of introduction as well. Something about yourself, how people can get in contact with you, because the idea of this program is to network and to, in the absence of being able to do this physically, at least still at this point, we do so virtually. And so you'll know too, when the program is over, probably over the weekend or if on Monday, we'll be posting this as well to um, the Chamber's YouTube channel. If you haven't looked at the Delaware County Chamber's YouTube channel, I encourage you to do that. You'll find recordings of lots of different programs that we've done. And we will also forward a copy of this to our friends at Delhi Telephone Company. And very likely they'll be posting this on their local one cable station that appears if you have Delhi Telephone cable TV. Before we start that round robin, just a couple events coming up that the chamber is hosting that I want to let you all know about, and hopefully you all will participate. Next Thursday, I don't think we have any restaurant owners on the call this afternoon, but on May 13th, that's next Thursday at 10 a.m., we are hosting a session, an hour-long session, discussing the Restaurant Recovery Act, those applications. The program just opened a couple days ago. We have a couple of representatives from the Small Business Administration that are based here in upstate New York, and they will be discussing that program in some detail. On the 20th of May, at 8:30 in the morning, is our Chamber Connects, our monthly Chamber Connects program. And this month we connect with Assemblyman Brian Miller, who represents the 101st Assembly District in New York State. That's that kind of really ugly looking district that's only 2 towns wide, from above Utica and goes all the way down into Orange County, and covers several townships here in Delaware County, like Meredith and Delhi and Davenport and Bovina and Andes, before that district leaves the county. On June 9th in the afternoon, we're back to our annual, I'm happy to say, spring golf tournament that will be held at the College Golf Course at Delhi. We have a second one scheduled for September at the Stanford Golf Course, but June 9th is our golf tournament, and I hope you all will participate in that. All information about all these programs, like everything else that we do, is available at delawarecounty.org. One last note before we begin: our Delaware County travel guides are now available, and they're pretty fabulous. 64 pages, I think. I don't have one with me. And 7 by 10 approximately is the format, in a portrait orientation, so it shows up better in recs and things like that. It's really an experiential guide to Delaware County. 66 pages, Lillian tells me. It's a great tool, not only for you to give to visitors, but also as you are onboarding new staff This is a terrific way of introducing Delaware County and the Catskill Mountain region to your new employees as well. So if you like a copy of that, just give us a buzz, send us a note, and let us know, and we can arrange for you to pick some up in Delhi, or as we're out and around, that we can arrange to drop some off for you. So, and Lillian just posted a note, they're available at the Business Center at the Chamber office. I'm just, the order I'm going to call people on is just based on the order that I see on my screen. And since, well, Mary's actually the first one, but since it looks like she's probably sticking something up someone's nose. Troy O'Brien, we'll start with you. And Troy is with Town Square Media. Troy, 3 minutes, all yours.
Yeah, well, Ray, thanks for putting everything together. I'm excited to be able to meet people face to face, or as close as we can get to it in a pandemic. Yeah, I work with Town Square Media. I'm in Oneonta, but our radio stations are in the Walton, Delhi area, also in Norwich. We're 103 ZOZ, Mix 103.9, 94 KXZ, and all the big cat country stations in the area. And I have the pleasure of working with Leslie Ann and Big Chuck, some local celebrities in the area. And I really just came on here at Town Square Media a year ago. I worked one day, and the second day they sent me home with a laptop and said, good luck, you're working from home. So I never got to meet all the local business owners. And now that things are opening up and I'm fully vaccinated, this is my chance to kind of introduce myself. And Town Square Media has given me the opportunity now to do a lot more than I used to be able to do. And I've asked a lot of people around the area if I could share some local business success stories. In the water cooler talk with Big Chuck and Leslie Ann, I have a questionnaire that I'd like to send out to a couple local businesses and ask quite transparently, what were some of the struggles you had? How did you overcome them? And what are you feeling optimistic about now? That water cooler question, I would love to feature a new business every single day. Also, I'm able now to schedule live broadcasts. So if your business has an upcoming event or a Memorial Day hot dog barbecue that you want people to know about, I'd love to get Leslie Ann out there with a microphone and talk about it during the day. And most importantly, I'm trying to do all of this in the most personal way possible. I know that a lot of people think, oh, advertising, whether it's radio, digital, TV, way out of my budget. I can't do that. And I can tell you, I've worked with local business owners, big and small, over the past year, a very difficult year for advertising in any industry. And I really pride myself on finding a way to make things work. So if you want to broadcast on the radio every Thursday to promote a trivia night, if you need a new website and you're worried about getting it on Google, if you are really just interested in digitally targeting some recruitment ads to get people working for you, all of this stuff is conversations that I would like to have. But it doesn't start with me sending you an email saying, hey, how much money do you want to spend? It starts with me meeting you in person, talking to you, developing that relationship, earning your trust, and then promoting your business. And I'm happy to be a part of the little speed dating activity we have today. And I think that's it from me. So Ray, I'll toss it back to you.
Troy, let me ask you just a question. You mentioned this questionnaire, and if you put that in some sort of digital format, a Google Forms or whatever it is, if you can give Lillian a link to whatever it is, we're happy to include something like that in our weekly chamber newsletter.
Yeah,
so that's a standing offer for you.
Leslie Ann and Big Chuck have already welcomed this idea with open arms. And if we were to record this 5-minute segment of talking about your business, again, a lot of transparency with it. I mean, I hope that this is a raw segment where listeners can say, oh, wow, I didn't realize that business owners were struggling so much. Because, yeah, they know, but they don't understand the severity of it. And then that audio we could send back to you, and you can put it on YouTube, you can put it on Facebook, and just great promotion for local business.
Wonderful. Troy, how can folks get in contact with you? Give me an email address.
Yeah, I can actually change my name here to my email.
Well, how fancy. And if folks want to learn more about Town Square Media, how can, there it is, townsquaremedia.com, obviously.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Thank you, Troy. Any questions for Troy from anybody? All right, let's keep moving. Mary, I'm going to take advantage of you not swabbing someone at the moment.
Yeah, right.
And tell us about what's happening over at Delhi Rehabilitation and Nursing.
Well, so, I mean, as you guys know, we're in a pandemic, so it affects us quite a bit in this setting. Some things that have changed recently, we are open for visitation. There's quite a few guidelines as far as visitation goes, but we are accepting visitation. They're just very structured and COVID, precautioned. We are very good with vaccines right now. We have a 90% vaccine rate with our residents, and we're slowly working on the staff. That's a little bit more challenging. We've hosted, this will be our 8th vaccine clinic coming this week. So we've been doing rolling vaccine clinics as well as promoting county ones locally for the community to do. So we're looking good at our herd immunity over here for ourselves. We did this week open our dining services back up. It's been a long 13 months without communal dining, so we're able to do that. We just have to socially distance, and we're very fortunate to have a big, beautiful building that has helped us quite a bit during COVID. So this Sunday kicks off National Nursing Home Week. So we have a lot of events planned for the week. Mother's Day every year kicks off National Nursing Home Week. It celebrates, what we do for caregivers, and, kind of brings us together and looks at the relationships we have with our residents and families. It'll conclude on Friday with a parade that we've done in the past due to COVID. We'll have our families drive through with cars, and it's adorable. You can follow us on our Facebook page to kind of see what's going on in our building. DelhiRehab.com is our website. We've actually updated it recently, so it's a little more interactive, has some updated pictures and lots of other things of that nature. As far as contacts for the facility, our administrator, her name is Jenny Demarest. We've been in a pandemic most of the time she's been here, so we haven't had the opportunity to introduce her to our community. Myself and Jen Alexander represent the admissions department. And then, in our social media, we do often highlight our employees here, people like that we can, introduce you to, that are people that might live in the community that also work here and represent us in a nursing capacity. Trying to think if there's anything else. We are obviously always hiring. The healthcare field is hurting for people in all facets, so we're hiring for all departments. We've specifically raised our LPN rates to a comparable, if not more, a prevalent rate compared to other nursing homes in the area. So we're hoping that will help us in our recruitment. So I think that's pretty much what's going on.
Any questions that anyone has for Mary? Well, we're going to thank you, Mary. And I think it was Jennifer who made an excellent point. If you would just put your email address or website in the chat, in the chat area, that would be great. And assuming that that Lily and I are going to be able to pull that down, we're going to send you all of you a copy of today's program, and we should be able to pull that in as a text file and have copies of everyone's emails as well. Carrie, we're going to continue with the idea of Nursing Home Week, and Caroline, though I always call you Carrie, from Robinson Terrace is on deck next. So Carrie, 3 minutes for you.
Okay, thank you, Ray. And hello to everyone. I wish we could gather in person, but this is a great next best alternative. So I'm from Robinson Terrace Rehabilitation and Skilled Nursing Care. We have 4 different programs that I want to talk to you about very briefly. We have traditional long-term care, or what most people think of as nursing home care. And that's at our main building in Stamford, the center of Stamford, used to be the old Stamford Hospital. We have 120 beds, and we do many different programs, including memory care for folks with Alzheimer's and other forms of dementia. We also do, and not a lot of people realize this, short-term rehab. We have 1 unit dedicated to short-term rehab. So when people go for hip replacements, knee replacements, or perhaps they've had a fall and need physical therapy to help them recover, or occupational therapy, speech therapy if they're recovering from a stroke. So we do an awful lot of short-term rehab as well. In addition to our facility at the old Stamford Hospital, we also have another facility on Buntline Drive in Stamford. And that is our assisted living program and adult home program. So adult home is for people who can live independently, but like living within a community. Assisted living is just what it sounds like. It's for folks that don't need nursing home care, but they need maybe a little extra in terms of housekeeping, meals, help with medication management, things like that. And that would be our assisted living facility. There are 60 apartments down there. They range from studios to 2-bedroom apartments. It is absolutely lovely. If you haven't had the chance to see it, you should look at our website at robinsonterrace.com, and you'll be able to see pictures of our assisted living. It's top notch. I've already told my husband that that's where we're moving in the very near future. I'll continue to work. He's 72. He can, entertain the ladies in the facility while I'm at work, and meals will always be ready for me, and the laundry gets done and I don't have to clean. So it's a pretty sweet deal. If you have any questions, or I'd love to hear from you. I should also mention that at this time we have 0 COVID cases among any of our residents and staff. So we are very pleased to report that, and we have reopened visitation, which is so exciting for families that are missing their loved ones after more than a year of not being able to see them other than through Zoom and venues like this.
Oh, Carrie, I gotta tell you, it would just break my heart that you couldn't open for such a long period of time. So I'm thrilled to hear that visitation, in-person visitation, has resumed. Any questions that anyone has with Carrie and Robinson Terrace?
Yeah, Carrie, I just wanted to know about how Robinson Terrace did last year on COVID cases.
Mm-hmm. Well, we started out really, really well with 0 cases for a very long time as the pandemic was really building. And we really thought we were going to dodge a bullet, so to speak. But then we got hit pretty hard in December with it. And it was early December after Thanksgiving, and
when everyone else got hit.
Exactly. And not surprisingly, we were hit very hard. But we continued to exercise universal precautions, proper PPE for staff, social distancing, stopped any visitation or vendors from coming into the building, and we got through it. And we have most of our residents vaccinated and most of our staff vaccinated at this point. We're very happy with that. We continue to test all staff twice a week, to COVID test them twice a week. And we test residents about once a week unless DOH requires something different. So we're doing really well now, but it was a very tough winter, as a lot of people experience.
Has everyone received the vaccine?
Almost everyone has. We have a few residents that will not provide consent because they have concerns over the vaccine. And we have a few employees that have not yet been vaccinated, but we continue to work on it. In fact, on Tuesday, we're vaccinating a few more residents and a few more staff who have changed their minds. So we're not 100%, but it's the vast majority of folks that are vaccinated.
Right.
And most of our visitors coming in are vaccinated too.
Chris, you're up next. Harmony Hill Retreat Center. Tell us about what's happening there. I hope you're gearing up for a good season.
Yeah, we are. Everything's open now after the yurts have been asleep for the winter. So we've got 70 private acres here and 3 yurts that have modern bathrooms, modern kitchen in them. They're a tent that act like a cabin, and they're round, and you can see them on the website, theharmonyhillretreat.com. You can see the inside of them that have everything modern in them, from 314 square feet to about then one that's 640 square feet. And then we also have a cabin that's much larger, and so that accommodates people too. And last time that I was able to be on, someone asked me if I had any services, and I go, well, no, not much. And so that was because I retired myself from providing the psychotherapy, the couple coaching, Reiki treatments, guided meditation, and all that stuff. Well, since then, I have a massage therapist and people who will offer to deliver meals and an intuitive reading, and also mindfulness walks and movement classes and quite a few things like that. And all of this is mentioned on the website, even packages you can get to have several things happen, even a cooking class. So there's quite a bit that can go on right here on the hill. So
Chris, so for those, I know where Harmony Hill is, and
Oh,
I
I'm
like to
sorry.
think everyone else does, but tell
outside
everyone
of
where
East
you
Meredith.
are.
Yeah, outside of East Meredith. So, yep, just a stone's throw from
Up
there.
on McKee Hill Road.
Yeah. So our
Love-
elevation here is 2,000. So I just went down to the post office in East Meredith yesterday, and it was a lot warmer there than it was. And there's not that much difference.
Chris, just tell me, there's no snow at 2,000 feet, is there?
Not at the moment.
Not at the moment. Good. That's what I wanted to.
And we've got
That's what I
baby
wanted to
green
hear.
leaves. You know, everything is
Good.
coming out. Spring is
That's-
just gorgeous here. We also have a fieldstone labyrinth, by the way, patterned after the one at Chartres Cathedral in France. And so the public
Really
is welcome
lovely,
to come and
lovely spot.
walk it.
It's a
Uh,
lovely, lovely spot.
Got a couple
Any
miles of trails you can hike.
questions that anyone has for Chris? Go visit Harmony Hill. I mean, it's a beautiful setting, and centrally secluded, if you will.
Anyone can come and walk the trails and the labyrinth. Yeah.
Nice. That's
But you can
great.
also come and stay and have a retreat.
I really like that your yurts are called glamping yurts.
Yeah, we were doing glamping before it was a word, I guess. Yeah, we had them and opened them in '05.
Terrific. Well, let's keep the program moving. Todd, program moves to you. And I
All
should
right.
mention here that Todd is also the chairperson of the Delaware County Chambers Board of Directors. So I am ever in Todd's debt for all the work that he's put in to help keep the chamber moving forward in a very difficult last year or so.
Thank you, Ray, and likewise, thank you for all your work, and good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. Yeah, my name is Todd Pasquarella. I'm co-owner of Union Grove Distillery in Arkville. Does everyone know where Arkville is? we're right on the eastern side of Delaware County, heading almost back towards Ulster County. So,
Todd, some people don't know where Arkville is. How is that
I know.
possible?
It's amazing, but we're putting it on the map. No one's gonna not know where Arkville is soon.
I just want to say that I've only been here a couple of years in upstate New York, so that's my excuse for not knowing.
No problem.
I'm sorry.
No problem.
I have the same excuse, actually. Sorry.
As do many people. We're very spread out county, so it's understandable.
I'm from London, so I've got a good excuse.
That's a good one.
Yeah, very good. So we've been in business for 5 years. We're a distillery. Here's our logo. I think it's backwards. I can't tell from the camera.
No, looks good at this end.
Union Grove Distillery. We actually produce distilled spirits from locally sourced ingredients. We partner with local farmers. We use local maple syrup, local grain. We forage for a lot of the botanicals that go into our gin making. So we pride ourselves in our products, our 4 main products that we offer. We offer a tasting room experience. It's been a little bit altered for the last year, but we are gradually migrating back to our previous model, which is to have more people in person. So on site at the distillery, we sell bottles. We do tastings of the products. We sell bottles of our products. We sell cocktails. We're getting a little bit more into some light fare, some small bites to eat there. And we're gradually moving back into live music, which was really a big part of what we would do on Friday and particularly Saturday nights. We would have people come in and play piano and guitar and sing and that sort of thing. So we are, awaiting, more of that in the near future as the summer rolls in. Here we'll do more live music. We also, there's a couple different facets of our business. We also distribute to lots of liquor stores and bars and restaurants, and particularly now. So liquor store sales have been pretty robust through the pandemic, but as you know, of course, a lot of the bars and restaurants haven't been at capacity or open very much. So as they open back up, or new ones, new ones open, we're looking to connect with those folks because we would like to partner with local establishments. We actually just got a relationship with a new place on the other side of the county that's going to be opening up. So it's a good opportunity for us. Excuse me. And so the other aspect is distribution through larger companies. So we cover almost all of New York State, and we're capable of going into other states, actually distributing products into other markets. So we're really sort of working, from where we are, lots of different levels, both right in our neighborhood, but also, trying to bring business elsewhere and bring, revenue back to the county that way. So, we have those kind of 3 levels of referrals that people want to come into our distillery. If people know other folks with venues, bars, and restaurants that want to partner with a local producer, there's a lot of cross-promotional opportunity there. And if anyone knows of distribution companies that serve broader regions, we're sort of always in the mode of trying to meet new people and explore the market that way. It's what's interesting about our business is that we do operate in these different facets, and it's one of the things that's really helped us through the pandemic was not relying solely on in-person sales. We were able to kind of keep our mixed market going for ourselves. So the way to contact us, we have our website, uniongrovedistillery.com. We give regular updates on Facebook about things that are happening mostly in the tasting room. And I will put my email into the chat, so you have my personal email as well if anyone wants to reach out to me. And that's it.
Todd, just a question. Memorial Day is coming up. That's the unofficial launch of summer, at least in our part of the world. Any events that you have planned already for Memorial Day weekend at the tasting room?
We are kind of still formulating our calendar. Some of it has to do with the restrictions, and some of it has to do with are having to get staff reconstituted.
Oh,
So
true.
we're not promising anything too big yet, but we are trying to have music that weekend. I know that for sure. Hopefully we'll be able to, solidify the plans and get some staff up and trained. We're actually in the process right now of restarting workers' comp insurance and all that sort of stuff. So we had to kind of, unwind a lot of things, and now and a lot of people in business are in the same position. So know that as you go around, that it's a tumultuous time for folks to to kind of get back to where they were a year ago. It's not so easy, but yes, that's traditionally the kickoff of the summer season for us. It's a big weekend. We hope to have music. I'll be at the Round Barn Farmers Market selling. We'll be out and about and trying to get things kicked up.
Wonderful.
So are you going to be at full capacity? Or are you limiting having a certain percent of people that are allowed to come?
Yeah, so we have it's a limited percentage, but we do have space in our distillery. So we have tables that are kind of spaced out 6 feet apart all through our production area. So it's become a little bit of a, when you walk in, it sort of, looks a little discombobulated, but we've extended our tasting room into our production facility. So we kind of work around where people would have to seat. So we have quite a bit of capacity in the building. We also have some outdoor seating too, which is nice in the nice weather. So we're not really that limited in terms of the people that can come out, although crowds have been fairly limited thus far. We're hoping that, it seems that they're pointing towards July 4th weekend or July 1st to 4th being the time frame where the restrictions will be lifted. So hopefully then we can sort of put our space back to normal and have people sitting where they used to sit. But we have a lot of room for folks there. We expanded outdoors a lot more than we had previously, which is actually quite nice to sit outside where we are. So we can accommodate folks.
Todd and Ray, I think we
Other
should think
questions?
about a chamber happy hour sometime.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I have to tell you, it's on the books.
Yeah.
Okay.
I second
and
that motion.
Yeah, it was on the books for last year, and of course, well, that all changed. But it's back. It's still. We hope in July to relaunch our in-person breakfasts, and we also hope in July to launch a new program called Chamber at 5:35 that starts during the week at 5:35 in the evening. And I think our first stop was scheduled stop is Union Grove Distillery. So
Great.
there'll be opportunities for all of you to discover where Arkville is.
Sounds
I
great.
promise.
Twist my arm a little bit. There we go. Yeah. So,
Jennifer, you're up next.
Okay. Sorry, I wrote some notes, so I'm going to look at them. So I'm the community engagement coordinator with, get ready, long name, Tobacco-Free Communities for Delaware, Otsego, and Schoharie counties. We are
That's
based
tough
in.
to put on a T-shirt. You know that, don't you?
Yeah,
Even
yeah.
tougher
Well,
on a mug.
even our acronym is long. TFC, TFC DOS, basically. We're based in Oneonta on Main Street, and our organization is part of a network of regional grantees throughout the state. We work to change the community environment to support New York State's tobacco-free norm. Each of the 21 chapter organizations has a community engagement component, which I'm that, and then we have a youth action component, which is called Reality Check. My colleague, Christopher Bradley, is the youth engagement coordinator. He took the day off today, so I'm gonna try and represent him as best as I can. So we're obviously engaged with the 3 counties, the municipalities and the counties, and employers, and we work with them to develop local laws and voluntary policies that prohibit tobacco use in outdoor areas and in multi-unit housing. we use the most current data and evidence to inform the policies. And the youth component of our program directly engages youth to learn and inform their peers on the negative impact of tobacco product marketing and price promotions on youth and adults at the point of sale. So recently, I mean, to my utter amazement, the village of Cooperstown just passed a tobacco-free policy that they're applying to Doubleday Park, which is great because a lot of families go there. You know, when kids see adults smoke, you know, they get the message that that's, you know, a good thing to do and it's part of becoming an adult. And we work to like prevent youth from starting smoking. 90% of all adult smokers started before age 18, and usually they become lifetime smokers, and you know, a lot of them are going to die prematurely. So you know, they get addicted much more quickly as a teenager and have a harder time quitting later on in life. So yeah, we were very happy with that. And there were some other outdoor recreational areas that the policy applied to as well. And that included vaping, which, as you all probably know, has become an epidemic among youth. And let's see. One of the things I started to work on at the end, not until the end of last summer, was we started a Be Safe, Be Kind program. And all it is we were asking employers to put this small sticker in their window. And it just politely asks people to not smoke or vape in their entryway. And we also had made some table tents because Oneonta had a dine out on Main Street for part of last summer. So, you know, it was also to just politely ask people not to smoke or vape. And this became especially crucial during COVID because smokers are at severe risk of, they're at like double the risk of getting a severe case of COVID than non-smokers. Vapors also are vulnerable to, you know, having a more severe case. I didn't know until COVID hit that smoking, tobacco use also affects your immune system. So it's not even just your respiratory system. It you know, it affects your ability to fight off a disease. So anyway, we want to start doing that again this summer, and it's just voluntary. And Todd, I was kind of hoping maybe I could bring some table tents out your way to put on your outdoor picnics, if you're willing to do that. And also then I'll see Arkville in your distillery. So, you know,
Sure.
wins
Yeah,
for
send me an email. I put my address in the chat.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. You all probably saw the national news that the FDA is proposing a ban on menthol flavored cigarettes and in cigars. And the reason why that's a huge deal is in 2009, all flavors of cigarettes were banned except for menthol. The tobacco industry fought hard to keep that in part because they very successfully made the menthol cigarette the cigarette for people of color. So if you were to go into like a mostly Black neighborhood, you would probably see lots of advertisement for menthol cigarettes, much more than you would in a neighborhood that doesn't have a majority of Blacks or Hispanics. It's also preferable to youth because the menthol flavor cools down the harsh effect of tobacco. So teenagers are more willing to smoke it, and about half of all youth smokers smoke it. It's also, so it's very easy to start smoking with menthol, and it's also harder to quit. The withdrawing effects are much harsher if you smoke menthol than they are if you smoke regular tobacco. So if you smoke menthol now and you want to quit, I would advise to first go down to regular tobacco and that kind of thing. So we'll be seeing like how that carries out. And so basically we offer free assistance to develop policies, tobacco-free policies. We have free signs, and the Village of Cooperstown, once they passed their policies, they also got our really cool looking signs. And we have plenty of material we can send out. So, you know, again, this is about making not tobacco the norm, you know, that people start to see it, the norm being like without tobacco, because the nicotine is very addictive, as we all know, and it's actually pretty harmful, especially to adolescents. You know, even if you're vaping, vaping also has a lot of chemicals in it, many of which are toxic. And I just learned the e-cigarette waste is very harmful to the environment, and it's a lot of it's hazardous waste. So, you know, it becomes very complicated in trying to remove it, especially without it like bursting into flames in front of you. Although apparently that doesn't happen too often, but if it does happen, it's very dangerous. So I'm going to put in a link to our latest edition of our newsletter, so you can skim that. It also has a couple of ads in it for cessation. That's not Tobacco-Free Communities' main aim, but we obviously want to, you know, help people quit if they want to, if they decide they want to quit. So
Great.
I will put
Any
that in.
question? Thank you. Any questions for Jennifer before we move on? Terrific. So watch for that in the chat, and see how we can all participate. Keely, I can't say as we've met before. So tell us about yourself and your company.
Hi, everyone. It's really lovely to meet you all. Well, I actually, well, good afternoon to you all. It's 5:45 in London, and it's really been quite touching to hear all your stories and what the businesses that you represent. Yeah, as I said, my name's Keely. I'm the outreach manager for BBSA. BBSA is a global marketing agency, and they have outsourced marketing departments and consultancies, offices in Los Angeles, New York, Delaware, and London, where I'm currently housebound. Well, pretty much. At BBSA, we basically help small companies that want to scale up their marketing to win new clients, to be honest, but maybe lack the resources or the time, and sometimes just the know-how or to do the IT themselves. So what we do, you can leave the marketing job to award-winning experts, whilst you really just focus your time on and efforts on just running your own business. And obviously that's where the market's going at the moment. So I mean, it's been great to meet you all today, but to be honest, it is nice to have a little help from you. We're currently at a comprehensive market research and studying on market outsourcing. And as part of the research, we are seeking to interview directors like yourselves or business marketing outsourcers to decision-making process. I don't know if you've obviously heard of, sorry, where am I going? Sorry, I do apologise, my notes have just gone. Where are we? Strathclyde Clyde University. We're actually doing it's a really good market research for the University of Strathclyde, and they really want people's opinions on how they feel that, because obviously where marketing is going at the moment, And this is a real market research done for the University of Strathclyde. And what they would really like to do is speak to people face to face. It's a paid for market research. We don't expect people's time for nothing. The opportunity is also for our participants is a $50 voucher, which you can use for as an Amazon voucher for yourselves, or it can be donated to charity. But this real market research done for the University of Strathclyde, I believe it would be great to have anybody involved. If it's something you're interested in, then great. I'll send a link and an email address. But it is really good research, and anybody's information is never passed on to anybody. When we send, if you're interested, we'll send you a documentation that says that we don't keep anybody's data. It's just for a really good cause. And that's basically it, really.
Questions? Well, thank you all for participating in our networking at noon. Oh, Chris, did you have a question?
Yeah, I had muted myself. So you're saying that the university is doing research, and
Yes.
that's what they want the participants to.
Yes,
Okay,
Strathclyde University.
okay.
Well,
But I
Keely,
can send
please.
you, I'll send the link, and if you want and an email address, and would be happy to hear from you. We can send you more information. The most
That'd be
important
great.
thing I like to stress to people is that, you know, we put it in writing that none of the, if it's, you know, you have a one-to-one with one of the researchers, it's one of the academic researchers from Strathclyde University,
Mhm.
and they just really want feedback from people, how they feel that, you know, how things are evolving in regards to, you know, the market research, basically. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, thank you all for joining us this afternoon. As Lillian mentioned at the beginning of the program, we'll be sending you a link, a video, a copy of the video of today's program, so you can review it and if you know, so you don't have to take notes and things like that. I hope to see you all certainly at our Chamber Connects program on the 20th of May at 8:30. And also, if you know any, if you work with any of our local restaurant owners or eateries or anything that can be construed as a restaurant, please encourage them to join us next Thursday on the 13th at 10 a.m. for our session with the Small Business Administration regarding the Restaurant Recovery Act. There's lots of funds that are available right now, but it's you know, so much need, so limited amount of funds at this point. So
Ray, is that in person or is that going to be a Zoom as well?
that's going to be a Zoom one again.
Okay.
And at this point, we haven't restarted any of our in-person. So again, it'll be a Zoom, and we'll have a recording. So if someone can't participate on the 13th, we will have it as a permanent program on our DelawareCounty.org website. So thanks everyone for joining us. Any final comments from anyone before we break?
Just thank you so
Thanks,
much.
Ray.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you all.
Goodness.
See you. You know,
Thank
again,
you.
DelawareCounty.org is a great place to get all that current information. Also, if you want to know what's happening in the area, our tourism site at Great Western Catskills.com is another great place to find out that kind of current information. I'm glad to hear that there's no snow on the ground. My wife and I have spent the last couple of weeks down south. Right now, we're in North Carolina heading north, and if there was any snow on the ground, I'd have a real tough time getting her to enter Delaware County sometime tomorrow afternoon. So I'm glad to hear at 2,000 feet where my house is at, that there's no snow on the ground and things are actually starting to bud out there, Chris. So I'm
Of course,
glad
it was
to hear that.
32 degrees last night. But
Shut up. I don't need to tell her about that.
Tell her that.
Thank you all. See you
Thank
soon.
you.
Bye. Thank
Bye,
you.
Bye,
guys.
everyone.
Bye.
Take care.
Nice to
Bye.
meet you all.
Nice